All right, let's dive right into another deep dive into Me and the Boys Wrestling. We're breaking down the Faction Wars Gauntlet this time. And wow, this one had a lot going on.
Definitely a lot to talk about.
Yeah, so many surprises and some big shakeups in the standings. Where do we even begin?
Well, you have to remember that in faction wars, every single win matters, right?
Right, exactly.
Holding a championship title, that means points for your faction.
Yeah.
So every match has these implications, kind of like a ripple effect across the entire MATB world.
That's a great point, yeah. Every match counts. Okay, so speaking of implications, one of the matches that had everyone buzzing was Drake the Devil Castle versus Gord McDonald.
Oh yeah, that was something else.
It was wild.
Just the size difference alone.
It was crazy.
It was like David and Goliath.
Yeah, seriously.
And you have to wonder, did that play a role in the outcome?
I think so. It had to. Plus, Drake still has that Money in the Bank contract hanging over everyone's heads.
Oh, right. From a few episodes back, yeah.
Yeah, which means he can cash in on any champion at any time, so he's a constant threat.
It's true. He's always lurking. That makes his victory over Gordon McDonald even more, I don't know, significant.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a win. It's like a statement. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm still here. I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly. And, speaking of impactful victories, we also had Cameron Taylor going up against Fitz.
Oh, that was a nail-biter.
That was a good one.
That match, that had serious implications, for the overall faction standings.
Sure.
Because the points were so close going into that match.
Yeah.
Like, it was anybody's game at that point.
Absolutely.
Both guys knew they had to, bring their A game.
They did.
Cameron, he pulled off the win for his faction in the end, but things took kind of a dark turn after the match.
They did. It was so unexpected. Out of nowhere, Mr. Tyrell, the HR rep, shows up. I mean, who is this guy?
Right, where'd he come from?
And just lays waste to Cameron. Nobody saw it coming. The chat was going crazy.
I know. Everybody was trying to figure out, like, who is this guy? What are his motives?
Yeah, what's it going on?
The commentators even said he looked familiar.
They did. They did say that.
Which has just, like, fueled a ton of speculation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is he, like, a returning character?
Yeah, like, who is this?
Is this, like, the start of a whole new storyline?
Yeah.
It's a complete mystery.
It is.
And that's what makes it so good.
It's so intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about French Lover.
Oh, yes.
This guy is quickly becoming known as the NXG Killer.
He's on a roll.
And this episode was no exception. He faced off against Road Peg, and let's just say things got a little personal.
A little.
Yeah, a little bit.
It got pretty heated.
They did. So Road Pig, ambushed French Lover before the match even started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there are a lot of colorful comments, we'll say, from fans, even DMP himself, about, French Lover's hairstyle and all this,
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's really interesting, this rivalry between French Lover's faction and NXG. You can feel the tension.
Yeah. It's definitely heating up.
It's heating up. It's getting intense.
You can feel it, yeah, in every encounter.
You can. And DMP, oh my gosh, just blatant disrespect to French Lover and NXG in general, just adding fuel to the fire.
Oh, yeah.
What is he doing? It's like he's trying to provoke them.
Yeah, like, what's his end game here?
Right. What is he doing?
He's playing the long game, that's for sure.
For sure. But, despite all that pre-match drama, French Lover once again managed to overcome the odds,
Yeah.
Pulled off another victory against an NXG opponent.
Wow.
It's like it's becoming a pattern.
It is.
How long will NXG tolerate these losses before they, really retaliate?
That's a good question.
Yeah. This could be the spark that ignites an all-out war between these factions.
I mean, it's got to be coming, right?
It's gotta be coming.
My tension's too high.
It's too high. Something's gotta give.
Something's got to give.
Okay, let's switch gears now and talk about the ladies' gauntlet match. This was like a record-breaking event.
Oh, wow.
So many talented wrestlers vying for the win. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
And we saw some truly incredible performances, especially from Veronique.
Oh, Veronique, she was amazing.
She was a powerhouse. She
Yeah.
eliminated 5 opponents in a row.
Seriously.
Yeah. It was just a display of power, strategy, athleticism, everything.
Oh, wow.
For a while, it felt like she was unbeatable, but As we know, anything can happen in a gauntlet match.
Absolutely, yeah.
1 minute you're on top of the world, the next minute you're facing defeat. It's just the way it goes. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what happened to Veronique. She put everything into those eliminations.
Yeah, she left it all in the ring.
She did. It was really amazing, but it left her exhausted.
Yeah, you could see it.
And that's when Kim Dugan saw her opportunity. She capitalized on Veronique's fatigue and
Yeah.
managed to pull off a stunning upset and take home the victory.
Wow. What an upset.
Right. It was awesome. Just a reminder that, even in a match that seems dominated by one person, anything can happen.
It really speaks to, the unpredictability of faction wars.
It does.
Any wrestler on any given night can achieve greatness.
Totally. Okay, let's move on to a match with a bit of mystery surrounding it. Angelo King versus the Stroop.
Oh, yeah. This one had an interesting backstory for sure,
It does.
given, all the speculation about Hunter S. Mustache's injury.
Right. Is he injured?
We don't know.
Is he faking it? The people want to know.
Right. He's still officially, out of action,
Yeah.
but there are, those whispers.
The whispers are there.
The rumors are flying
Could he be faking it?
that he might be faking it, right?
Who knows? And the fact that he was replaced by the Stroop, who's another member of his faction, the Niceties, it just adds another layer to this whole thing.
Doesn't it? It really does.
What are they doing? What
Yeah.
is their strategy?
Yeah, what's going on here?
It really raises some questions. Is Hunter S. Mustache truly injured?
Or is this all part of some, elaborate plan?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say, but one thing's for sure. Angelo King was desperate for a win.
Oh, he needed this one.
He's been on a losing streak ever since joining MPB, and the pressure was definitely on.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately for him, though, the match ended in a double countout, a draw, which, doesn't really benefit either competitor.
No, not really, no.
So Angelo's still searching for that first victory.
He's got to get one soon.
He does.
The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking.
I mean, how long can you go without a win
Right. Exactly.
before, morale just completely tanks?
You would think he'd start to question things. But
Absolutely. Is this even the right place for me?
yeah, exactly. Am I in the right place?
Am I cut out for this?
It's rough.
I don't know.
And the Stroop, well, representing the niceties in Hunter S. Mustache's absence, left with more questions than answers.
It's true. A lot of unanswered questions in that whole situation. A lot of questions. What's going to happen?
I guess we'll have to wait and see if the mystery continues.
It does. We'll have to wait and see how this unfolds.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, it really is interesting to see, how all these individual matches are kind of starting to shape the, bigger picture of faction wars.
Yeah, totally.
Rivalries getting more intense, alliances forming, and, certain factions are really starting to gain some momentum.
You can feel it building.
You can. It's exciting.
It's really cool. It's not just about the, the wins and losses themselves either.
Right.
It's about, the stories behind those wins and losses.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
The why, the characters, everything, yeah.
Right, how they all connect to this larger narrative that's unfolding.
And that's what makes me and the boys wrestling so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about the action in the ring. It's the drama. It's the intrigue.
Right.
It's the whole soap opera aspect of it all.
It's so good. And speaking of drama, we got to talk about the tag team match. The Best Friends versus Frank Weiser and Hulk Steve.
Oh, that was a good one.
This one was for the #1 contendership.
Stakes were high.
Meaning, the winners get a shot at the tag team titles.
Oh, yeah. And the action was intense. But what made it even better, even more entertaining, was the, behind-the-scenes chaos that led up to it.
What happened?
Well, it turned out that there was a bit of a scheduling mishap.
Uh-oh.
So we ended up with 2 Quebecer teams facing off against each other.
Oh, wow. Instead of, representing 4 different factions like it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was.
What a mix-up.
It added this, unexpected layer of humor to the whole thing.
Oh, I bet.
It was great. But despite all that, the unintended faction imbalance,
Right.
the Best Friends still managed to, pull off a victory.
Wow. They're good.
They're a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. And now they've got their sights set on those tag team titles.
That's going to be an interesting matchup, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah. Who are they going to face? How's it going to unfold? I can't wait to see it.
Me neither. And speaking of title matches, we can't forget about that highly anticipated rematch between DMP and Fingers.
Oh.
I mean, their last encounter ended in a time limit draw, right?
It did.
So, fans have been, clamoring for a decisive outcome ever since.
Oh, they wanted it. They needed it.
Yeah.
And this one was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Falls count anywhere.
Ooh.
Anything goes.
Stakes are high.
The commentators even described it as like a match for the soul of me and the boys wrestling.
Wow, that's intense.
It was. And the intensity was there from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like you could just feel it. These two have a history, a rivalry that runs deep.
Right.
And all came pouring out in this match.
I bet.
Brutal maneuvers, near falls.
Yeah.
And we even saw DMP bring out, barbed wire bat.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He actually used it.
Oh, he used it.
Oh, my goodness.
Which, seeing his signature weapon used against him.
Yeah.
That was a turning point in the match, I think.
I bet it was.
It felt like, a symbolic shift in power.
Totally.
Like Fingers is showing that he's not afraid to fight fire with fire.
Right. He's not backing down.
Nope. And despite, taking such a beating,
Yeah.
he just kept coming back.
Yeah.
His resilience was incredible. You could really feel the momentum shifting in his favor. And the ending,
What happened?
controversial, to say the least.
Real.
DMP lost that final fall, but some fans think it was because of a slow count by the ref.
Oh, no.
I know. The chat exploded. People were either, ecstatic for Fingers, or outraged on behalf of DMP.
It's divided for sure.
It was a divided crowd. But regardless of the controversy, the result is undeniable. Fingers is victorious.
He did it.
And he earned himself a shot at DMP's title.
Wow, that's huge.
Huge shakeup.
It really is.
The power dynamics in me and the boys wrestling are shifting.
You love to see it.
Speaking of shakeups, we also had a title change
Oh.
in the ladies division.
No way.
RI, the reigning champion, faced off against Spectre, the #1 contender.
That's a good matchup.
It was. It was good. And, this one had an added layer of intrigue thanks to the involvement of the Ultimate.
Of course he's got to be involved.
He's everywhere.
He's always up to something.
He is. He's making his presence known, interfering in matches, aligning himself with certain factions. What is he doing?
It's like he's playing chess and we're all just pawns.
We are. We're all just pawns in his game. It's like he's trying to, manipulate the outcome of these matches, but for what purpose?
Right.
What's his end game?
What's he up to?
It's a mystery. We're still trying to unravel it.
It's all very suspicious.
It is.
Yeah.
But even with the Ultimate's interference, the ending of this match was more about Spectre's own, misfortune. Her signature cape,
Yeah.
usually a symbol of her power,
Right.
became her downfall.
Oh, no.
She got all tangled up in it at, a crucial moment, which gave RI a chance to capitalize.
That's rough.
It was rough.
So she lost.
Well, that's the thing. It was like this shocking turn of events.
Okay.
And it seemed like Arai had managed to escape with the win. But then, in a truly stunning reversal, Spectre used that entanglement to her advantage.
Right.
She reversed the hold and pinned Arai.
What?
She won.
I can't believe it.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
A victory that, nobody predicted.
Wow.
Just a moment of brilliance that really solidified her place at top of that ladies division.
You got to hand it to her. That's some quick thinking.
It really is. It just goes to show, in me and the boys wrestling, you never really know what's going to happen.
Nope.
Twists and turns, surprises around every corner. That's what keeps us coming back for more.
Absolutely. The element of surprise, the unpredictability, that's what makes it so good.
Exactly.
And that brings us to, the main event.
Oh, yeah.
The grand spectacle, the thing that capped off the night, the 20-man gauntlet match.
Wow.
This wasn't just, a match. It was like, war, this chaotic collision of factions and personalities,
Pure mayhem.
all vying for supremacy.
From start to finish, bodies flying everywhere, alliances shifting like the desert sands.
And amidst all that chaos, there were a few, standout performances
There were.
that really, deserve recognition.
They do.
One that I was really impressed by was the Ultimate.
Oh, really?
He was great. He defied expectations,
In what way?
showcasing not just brute strength, but a real strategic mind too.
Okay, yeah.
He wasn't just out there throwing punches. He was analyzing the situation, picking his moments, even using his environment to his advantage.
Smart.
He was smart.
Yeah.
He racked up 4 eliminations.
Wow.
He's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, for sure. It's like he's been studying the game,
Right.
learning from his past mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and evolving into this, truly formidable competitor.
It's been really cool to watch his transformation.
Yeah, it's really remarkable to see.
It is. And then, of course, you got to mention the Donald Trump character,
Oh, yeah.
who always seems to elicit a strong reaction from the crowd.
They love to see him get beat up.
Oh, they do.
His early elimination by Superintendent Dixon, I mean, the cheers were deafening.
I bet.
But then, he makes a surprise return later in the match. Just adds this, this touch of comedic absurdity to the whole thing.
It's like, what is going on?
Exactly.
And then, like, nobody expected him to actually win the whole thing.
Right.
It was a twist worthy of, like, a reality TV show.
It was.
And it really speaks to that unpredictable nature of Me and the Boys wrestling.
It really does. You never know what's going to happen. But in the end, it all came down to, that final showdown, the Ultimate and Ryan Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Clash of styles. Magic and mysticism versus, raw power and determination.
What a matchup.
And this is where I think the Ultimate's strategic approach really paid off.
Oh, interesting.
He'd conserved his energy throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
He chose his battles carefully.
Okay.
But against Ryan Kai, he unleashed everything he had left, just this blend of wrestling skill and mystical prowess.
Wow.
Ryan Kai couldn't overcome it.
It sounds epic.
It was. Hard-fought victory, a real testament to the Ultimate's evolution as a competitor.
Yeah.
This wasn't just luck. It wasn't brute force. It was calculated.
Yeah.
And, with that win, he secured a major turning point, I think, for the Elite.
Absolutely.
Leaving a lasting impression on, everybody watching.
Totally, yeah.
His performance, it was symbolic of that entire faction wars concept.
It was.
Individual battles, but contributing to, like, a larger struggle.
Exactly. And it's going to be so interesting to see, like, how this victory impacts those overall faction standings and, just the future of Me and the Boys wrestling in general.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into, the Faction Wars Gauntlet results, I think the biggest takeaway is just this. Me and the Boys wrestling, it's constantly evolving, always full of surprises.
It's true.
And always entertaining. We saw underdog victories, shocking betrayals, a whole lot of chaos, and that's what keeps us coming back for more.
It's so good.
And it's not just about the action in the ring. It's about the characters. It's about the storylines. It's that sense of community that surrounds this unique and unpredictable world.
It's the best.
So until next time, keep your eyes on the ring. Be prepared for anything, because in Me and the Boys Wrestling, the only constant is chaos.